Guys, Delu Laguna, YouTube's N'Golo Kante. You guys asked for player ratings at the start of the season, so I'm here with it now. Arsenal obviously lost 1-0 in their second from last group stage game in Europa League against Cologne. So let's crack on. It's a bittersweet game because I don't necessarily feel, and this is going to drop, let me just hold it in my hand. But yeah, what was I saying? I don't necessarily think we played terrible, like we lost, but it's not the end of the world. But we didn't play as well as we should. And yeah, while I don't think we played terrible, no one necessarily played well, apart from a certain someone who I'll allude to later. So let's start from, where is this? Here it is, wrong side. Let's start from the back. Ospina, I give him a 5. There weren't really much for him to do. I mean, if I'm harsh, the penalty, yeah, there's nothing really you can say, man. The penalty, he was way off. You could have probably read the penalty taker a bit more, but that's about it. He made one bad boy save in the first half, so I'll give him credit. He weren't tested like that, so if I'm giving him a 3, I'm just being silly, aren't I? So he gets a 5. Obviously, he gets a 5 because he's just done his job, innit? Like, you can't be getting higher than that. Next, Chambers. I give Chambers a 5 because 4 implies that he played poorly. I don't necessarily feel we played poorly. He's in his unnatural position of fullback. I think he put a number of decent crosses in, to be honest, and he made a couple of interceptions. He could have done a bit better on a general basis, but he's coming back from injury, and he done all right, man. So 5 out of 10. He weren't at fault for the goal. I give Holding a 6. Now, why I give him a 6 is because he weren't necessarily tested, but I feel up until the second half dying embers, he made one wayward pass. His passing was great. Play the man. You guys know I'm a fan of Holding. I honestly believe he has a chance of going to the World Cup. Not a certainty, but a chance if he plays on a regular basis. Look at Gomez at Liverpool, what that's doing for him. I like Holding. I got a lot of time for him. Bringing the ball out the back, he dealt with the tackles when he could. He was trying to get people on the ball. He weren't really tested like that again because of how the game was. So I give him a 6, man. He done just enough to get that because he dealt with his problems presented and he swept up some other people's mess too. I give Debussy a 3. Now, people can call me harsh. I'm not reacting to just the penalty. The penalty was harsh, but if I'm harsh on him for that penalty, why are you diving in? I feel Debussy, being one of the more experienced players, being one of the better players on a general basis in Europa League, he could have done much better today. For me, it was the diving in. How much time do you need to dive in as an experienced player to realise it's not going to work? It was diving in. At times, he was sleeping. There was one time it annoyed me. He done well to intercept, but I know you can see he's trying to head it back in the middle, and it fell to a Cologne player. Again, experienced players should not be doing this sort of stuff. And for someone that, again, like I said in the review, we know his Arsenal career looks to be over. But if you want any chance of playing in the Prem, you got to do better than that. Yeah, people at times have Arsenal been playing worse than you, but yeah, you get the point. So I give Debussy a 3, man. He was getting caught a lot of the time as well. So Debussy a 3. I give Mertesacker a 5. He weren't tested like that, but I feel he done all right, man. Second half, he was kind of showing that he's past it. But I give him a 5, man. Yeah, like I said, it wasn't a game where we necessarily played poorly. We just didn't do enough to win in the penalty business. So 5. Maitland Niles, I give him I don't know if it was a 7 or an 8. I'm actually just gonna say I give him an 8. You know, I'm being generous because how can you be our left back? Yes, with the way the game's played, fullback's got to be attacking and all that malarkey there, but how can he be our best player going forward, putting balls in, sticking to his task, showing a little bit of skill, a little bit of time? Like, he's on the cross for the first team. You always see him on the bench and them things, and his natural position is not left back. And at times he showed why it's not his best position. But he done his thing, man. And I got a lot of time for Maitland Niles. I hope he starts a Premier League game at some point in the season because that was a goal of his last season. I bought the magazine when I went on holiday, so I know about that. But Maitland Niles, man, credit where it's due. 8 out of 10, man. 8 out of 10. Yeah, it is 7. Yeah, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Apologies, people. Coquelin a 5 out of 10. Yes, we didn't necessarily play good or bad, but I felt he was definitely better than El Nene. Yes, he had a number of opportunities. Coquelin is never going to score a lot of them opportunities. Is Coquelin, man? He last scored for Freiburg, for God's sake. He's never going to score for us again, is he? He hit the post a couple of times. There was a couple of times in the first half he clipped a couple of passes. I was like, is that you, Coquelin? Yeah, man, like. But yeah, man, 5 out of 10 for him. So yeah, Welbs, I give him a 6. Up until he got subbed, obviously in the first half. 45 minutes. He was one of the better players for us. He was, yeah, man, he's a bit rusty, but he was one of our better players. He could have done well with a lot of his finishing. Don't get me wrong, but one of our better players, linking up with Maitland Niles. I wanted to give Wilshere a 4, but I feel like I'm being harsh. I'm harsh on the players I like. You guys know me. Wilshere was decent in the first half. Second half standards were dropped. He was getting caught. The ball was breaking down with Giroud a lot, but it was breaking down with Wilshere a lot via him holding onto the ball, especially when we're chasing the game. I just feel at times it weren't good enough. And what annoyed me the most is, why are you not taking set pieces? Like, I know El Nene used to be decent, but today he was poor at set pieces. Why are you not taking them? The first one you took off El Nene, it went past our first man. So I give you a 5 out of 10, man. The left wing stuff has to stop. Yes, you came inside a lot and you was basically a midfield player, but you guys get the point. Giroud a free, the ball didn't stick. He didn't take his chances. He just weren't at it today. Giroud a 3 out of 10. The less said, the better. I give El Nene a 4. Poor set pieces, tackling at times was sloppy, was getting caught. He lost his discipline in terms of tactically at points as well. 4 out of 10. I give Iwobi and Reece Nelson a 6 because when they both came on, yes, they could have played a lot better. At times, Iwobi trying too hard for us to penetrate, and Nelson could have been a bit more proactive. But they made a difference compared to how we was playing in before their arrival. They were running in behind, they were having opportunities. You saw Nelson at the end almost scored, to be honest, and Iwobi could have done better with a couple of his opportunities. Obviously, Eddie Nketiah wasn't on the pitch long enough to get a rating, to be honest with you. Like, he weren't enough on the pitch enough to assert himself. I hope I haven't missed any players out. But yeah, man, that's the player ratings. Guys, DG, I'm signing out. Thank you for watching. I'm out. Yeah.